Hello, it's Omar Oakes again at the Media Leader Live. I'm coming from Connected TV World Summit with Thijs Bijleveld from Imax. Hello, the big screen chief. Hello, good morning. So you spoke on day one of Connected TV World Summit.
Yeah, that's
Tell our
correct.
audience, what did you speak about? What was the key takeaway that people should take from what you said?
So we talked about basically two things. We talked about how to measure video quality. Not measuring pixels and bit rates, but basically measuring video quality from a human perception perspective. So how can you measure video in a way that actually comes close to how the human brain is perceiving video quality? And the second aspect is, once you start measuring video in that way, right, you can also analyze video files and detect what's in that video file that doesn't contribute at all to providing or increasing that video quality. And why does that matter? Right? That matters because if you take out all the bits that do not add quality, right, you end up with smaller file sizes. And that means that you're going to end up with lower CDN bills, or you can basically solve latency problems, or you can increase video startup times. So you can increase the overall video experience, or you can simply cut your CDN bill.
And where is this going to be most impactful? Is it the costs of producing content? Is it sustainability, cutting your carbon footprints? Or is it actually just offering, you're in the big screen business, is it actually being able to offer more cost effectively, more high quality video?
Yeah, it's a good question. So IMAX comes from the big screen, right? But what we have learned over decades is actually, how does that human brain work? How does that human brain perceive quality? And we basically took that out of the cinema situation, and we bring that into the home. So basically measuring or optimizing video quality, but on the other hand side, basically make streaming more efficient is relevant to operators and to streamers and broadcasters that at this point in time are offering their video content over third-party networks and basically have to pay a big CDN bill for it. So it's relevant for every company and distributor of content that is looking to increase quality, but on the other hand side, basically make their streaming more efficient. It's not only about cutting costs, right? Because if you can stream video in a more efficient way, of course, right? It has sustainability, advantages as well, because you need less servers to basically store and stream your content. So yeah, absolutely. When we think about carbon footprint, it has an impact. Or you could even say, what? I'm happy with my video file size, but if I can increase quality, basically, at the file sizes I'm currently pushing and streaming into my network, then you can basically use the advantages in different ways. Either increase quality, cut cost, or basically take care of the environment and reduce the carbon footprint. Absolutely.
Yeah, really important. And more generally, what do you see as the trends going forward for the connected TV sector?
Oh man, that's an interesting one. I think we are at a very interesting time, a challenging time. We come from a decade where the industry, us as vendors, were selling a lot of technology. I would say even at some point selling or providing technology for technology's sake. But what I see in the industry at this point in time, everybody needs to do more with less. Meaning that, everybody's looking for making their business more efficient to, on the one hand side, basically answer to the customer demand of getting better quality, but on the other hand side, also to find ways to do things, against lower costs. And that impacts the industry because, if our customers are in that position and they need to do more with less, we as vendors need to also think on how can we reshift our focus, right, from purely focusing on how can we provide great and better technology to how can we provide technology that actually helps our customers to create a business impact, right? To maybe simplify it, at this point in time, I see more CFOs becoming more important in the decision-making process. I see more product and basically business owners, be present at the decision-making process, and that simply means that we are much more scrutinized on not only is your solution, providing a sort of a feature or a technical function, but is it solving a business problem, right? Does it have a direct impact on revenue or on a cost-saving ambition that the company has? So we need to reinvent ourselves as an industry, right? We need to come up with business models, and we need to sharpen the pen on our solutions and find direct ways that our solutions are impacting those business objectives from the customers that we work for.
Finally, I'll be fascinated to know, we've been talking just now about big screens, video quality, and you've just mentioned the industry changing so much. I mean, it feels like a lot of this conference, what's been overhanging it is, we've been talking about different forms of distribution, different forms of delivery, but actually consumers, especially younger consumers, seem very content to not watch TV at all and just consume video content on short-form platforms, YouTube, TikTok, etc. I mean, does this make it harder for a business like yours, which is about kind of selling high-quality formats?
Well, it's. I think you're spot on. And if I take that back to what Imax is doing, and the importance of why we are pushing a quality metric. If you think about video quality, you actually need to know how the human brain works, but also the location and even the device that person is using, right, to consume content. Because you're right. Less and less people, definitely generation-based, are not sitting at the big screen in the living room. They're consuming content in different ways. So if you think about quality, right, there's a big difference if you're sitting in the living room on a 70-inch big screen, right, or you're watching a live sports match on your iPhone. So how we are helping our customers is we are providing that insight, right, and those actionable insights on how to improve video quality on all these different devices. And secondly, if you talk about optimizing streaming, right, there's not one definition, because if you're streaming a sports match on an iPhone, and how to optimize and reduce video file sizes is a different approach than when you're talking about that 70-inch television screen in the living room. So what we stand for is a trusted, to provide a trusted video metric to define video quality, but also the tools, right, to optimize your streaming regardless, right, your target group, regardless what device or regardless what place they are consuming their content in. That's exactly the trick, right, that you need to understand. It's the problem that you need to tackle. There's not one definition of quality. There's also not one definition of how to optimize your streaming business at this point.
Thijs from Imax, thank you so much for coming on the Media Leader Live at Connected TV World Summit. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you like this video, please subscribe. The Media Leader is the UK's leading source of analysis, opinion and data for people who work in advertising and media.